go. This is the round of 8 in the PMS H2O Gold Platinum Weekly number 14. Our players will be Goldfire and Infinity on MLG Tal'Darim Altar. In this best of 1, Zerg versus Protoss. Round of 8, right? Yep. Third round of 8.
Yeah. And it looks like Goldfire is going to be a pink Protoss spawning in the top left corner, again on MLG's Tal'Darim Altair, while Infinity, the purple Protoss People Eaters, going to be spawning in the top right corner of this map. So we do not have cross spawns in this map, but a little bit of a closer rush distance.
Actually, you made a little bit of a mistake there. You called Goldfire the pink Protoss, but he is actually the pink Zerg.
Whoopsie daisy.
That's alright. Everybody knows that you're just a derp. So. But yes,
you know me.
It does look like Infinity will be opting to put the pylon at the base of his Nexus. Interesting choice. If Goldfire is able to scout this quickly, he may be able to capitalize, as Infinity will be very difficult to block off his wall at all. But at this point, it does look like Goldfire is droning up, probably seeing, does look like actually 14 drones coming out. An extractor on 14, and actually scouting down to the south first, so he will not be seeing this situation first.
No, in fact, on this map, Zergs typically want to at least poke into that middle against a Protoss or a Terran opponent, because it's just so easy to proxy gate or proxy racks in the middle, since a lot of Zergs, especially at lower levels, will tend to just go to one corner and then make a big square and completely miss the middle. It makes proxying in the middle very, very easy.
Yep. I actually like to usually just stop off at the Tal'Darim, the Zelnaga Tower, and then continue on through to the next base. But it does look like the Protoss will be scouting out the Zerg here, and the Zerg still lost in translation, trying to find this Protoss player. But eventually he will make his way over there and see his base, and actually see that his base is basically wide open. And I mean, Goldfire just basically blindly did the perfect build here. I mean, he has a 14-14, he has a Speedling build going, probably going for a Speedling expand. Does look like he is sending out this drone now to go poke away at this probe to make sure that he's not dropping any kind of pylons or anything. Maybe force him to create a pylon, a block. Sometimes the Zerg does want to force that. Let them use their 100 minerals for no apparent reason. And now this drone here from Goldfire is going to be scouting out the base and seeing no wall. So, well, I mean, he's got kind of a wall around his mineral line, so it's not too bad, but
I see what he's trying to do here. I like what he's trying to do, but I just feel like Zerglings, they can easily get in the back there.
Yep, and not even that. If they can't get into the back, they can still just poke away at these buildings in the front. And not even that, the other thing is you basically leave yourself open to any scouting ability. The Zerg player can scout your whole base and see everything that's going on. But, yep, well, we'll see how it works out for Infinity. And we'll see how it works out for Goldfire.
Both gas being taken, going to be seeing a lot of sentries coming out. He had one and just come out now, another queued up.
Yep, third gateway going down, so we'll be seeing, looks like a 3-gate expand coming from our Protoss player here. Going to be throwing down a pylon over by his natural. Makes for easy warpins at the front of his base. And, right now, I'm not sure where those Zerglings of Goldfire went. Oh, one Zergling over there. I don't know where the other 3 Zerglings went. Do you know? Oh, there's the other 3 Zerglings. Okay.
Yep, they're just poking around, coming through the Protoss base now. They're gonna see this pylon as a free pylon kill.
Yep. Right now he doesn't see it. He's on the bottom of the ramp, so he has to wait until he gets up there.
Yep.
It does look like Infinity going to be pressing out with a couple units here. 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, and 2 Sentry, and at the same time going to be throwing down his expansion. Roach Warren going down for Goldfire. No lair yet. Probably going to be putting that lair down as soon as he feels like it, I guess.
Expo's complete, so Goldfire is gonna really start kicking in with the drones. And let's see, one drone there, a couple overlords. Ooh, looks like he got pop capped a little bit. Two overlords coming out, but 5 roaches being made. So
one
I think
overlord
we're gonna
actually
see
just
some.
popping now. Both overlords just popping now, so he'll be able to create a couple more roaches. Actually,
See
looks like
some.
4 more roaches. One more should be out. Yep, and there goes a bunch of roaches, and Zergling's going to be popping out. It looks like he will be using these units to try and put a little bit of pressure onto Infinity.
Yeah.
If he can hit this timing before this robotics facility finishes, he'll be in a pretty good position. No Immortals out to deal with these roaches, and obviously no Colossus anywhere near. But there are a nice amount of sentries. We have 6 sentry, 100, 150, 120, 75, 100. So there's a lot of force fields available. Let's say about 10 force fields available for the sentry. However, you know, this ramp here is not very good for force fields. It takes like 3 or 4 force fields to wall off this ramp. So he's gonna try and send up a couple of rings. Oh, what was
2 free Zergling kills.
yeah, it was trying to force. Looks like he's trying to force some force fields before these roaches run up. But right now, what he would want to do is probably send the lings. Yep, it looks like he's gonna send the lings around the left side and try and make a sandwich behind these units with the lings.
And here we go.
And here goes the units. Lings from behind, roaches from the front. And actually, the lings are just going to run by and go right for the mineral line.
The roaches are going to get 3 sentry kills at the front.
That's so many sentries. That's a whole lot of gas loss. And these little lings kill a bunch of probes. More lings going to be streaming in. And actually, the Immortals are out now. So what he needs to do with those lings is focus down the Immortal with the lings. And it looks like he will be doing just that. The roach is going to deal directly with the other rest of the army. And the ling's going to come in now to help out the roaches. And losing a lot of units, but actually deciding he's trading armies pretty well with the Protoss, which
Definitely
is very good because I mean right now his economy is pretty good. He's got 32 harvesters. He's on 2 base. He does not have his lair yet. Getting his second gas at his natural.
He has his lair. It's actually at his natural with a
okay.
Hydralisk den on the way.
Yep. Okay. So the couple of stalkers. I mean, look at the units lost tab. 2150 resources lost, which is a lot of gas, mostly for, you know, with those centuries that he lost, and 1681 for the Zerg. So definitely in a good position. He's killed 7 workers, only lost 18 units. I'm sorry, he lost 42 units.
And it's interesting when you say the Zerg is trading well. This is exactly what we talk about when people say they're trading well. The Zerg lost 42 units. Protoss only lost 18, but the resources of the Protoss units that were lost were actually much higher. 500 resources, primarily those gas-heavy sentries that you were talking about. Just so costly.
Yep, and we do look at the harvester count of our Zerg player is 42, which means he is 2 away from being fully saturated on his bases. He could decide to get those 2, or he could just stay on 42. It's still not too bad. Ideally, you want to have 16 on minerals and 6 on gas, so 22 on each base. Yeah. But we'll be opting to go with 42. Fire is down now, and looks like we'll probably be seeing a Roach Hydra Corruptor from our Zerg player.
Overlord speed just kicking in, so thinking might just see some drop play with this Hydralisk Den.
Yep, actually Colossus in production, but unfortunately he is supply capped. Only now 2 pylons going down, and a Twilight Council as well, so +1 upgrade weapons on the way. And our Zerg player looks like he will be getting ready to take his 3rd expansion.
Yep, and macro hatches all the way are already down.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he probably should throw one down, but he's already 1 step ahead of me.
But I'm not sure about this tech pattern with Zerg going Hydralisks and our Protoss player going Colossus. The Colossus are really good against Hydralisks.
Yeah, I mean right now Hydra Roach Corruptor is a pretty good combination. Unfortunately, it's a difficult combination to work with. It does take a lot of unit control, a lot of micro to be able to use the units efficiently. So, but it does.
Not to mention a lot of gas.
That too, of course.
Roach, Hydra, and Corruptor. That's a lot of gas-heavy units.
Yes.
Specifically the Hydralisks and the Corruptors.
Yeah, I mean, Hydralisks are 50 and Corruptors are 100, so definitely wants to get those extra 2 gas up on his third base as soon as possible.
Yep.
But, you know, right now we look at the army count. It is 42 to 42, dead even. Right now, Protoss has caught up in worker supply, actually ahead by 8. But Zerg is just now getting his third up. We should be seeing a wave of drones coming out, and it'll probably saturate that instantly with one wave of drones.
An interesting choice, the Zerg player opting to get the +1 melee and +1 ranged attack upgrades. So I think he's going to be looking to flood with Zerglings once he can get the meteor part of the army up. We do see the +1 air attacks going down now, and yeah, this Corruptor. Oh, this Corruptor's just going to do a little scouting. It looks like.
Where?
Nope, he's just going to pause. We got 4 Corruptors in the left middle portion of the map, just kind of chilling. 6 Corruptors.
Yep.
Probably looking to flank if the Protoss decides to push.
Yeah, that's pretty much the biggest thing that you want to do with the Corruptors is you want to flank them. You can't send those Corruptors directly into the army because, you know, then the Stalkers will just turn around and just shoot them down.
Yeah.
So you need to catch with your units from one side, and your Corruptors either coming from the side or the back or something.
Ooh,
so
Zerglings harassing the Protoss third right now. Sorry to interrupt you, but looks like they're not going to get to take it down.
No, but he is going to keep it down to pretty low health. The shields are all gone on it. Actually, the Zergling's going to run back in to try and do a little bit more damage. And he may be able to do some hull damage here. And yeah, actually take it down to 775. And that's health that he'll never get back on that Nexus. Unfortunately, he cannot repair it. Really good vision on the map for the Zerg player. He can see almost every possible exit for the Protoss player.
Yeah, definitely exerting map control right now. Protoss players, unfortunately, in the blind.
However, the Zerg player still is behind in the Harvester count by 12 Harvesters. He really needs to... Oh, looks like he does have 9 on the way. But he definitely needs to saturate up that third and possibly even think about taking a fourth because of the fact that these... that this Protoss player is now on his third as well. And, you know, the Zerg player does realize that. He has seen a third, obviously. So wouldn't be surprised to see him start prepping to take a fourth very soon. Overseer being morphed in. We do not have any Dark Shrine on the map just about yet. But actually a second Robo facility is down. Blink just finishing. +2 attacks on the way. Also +2 missile attacks on the way for the Zerg.
Yeah, and looks like Tunneling Claws also being researched for the Zerg player, so we're going to be looking to do some surprise attacks, and I don't think we have an observer on the field just yet.
It looks like another Zergling run by. He does reveal the Blink tech, so Zerg is aware that Blink is a possibility now. But having those observers also allows him to... Overseers allows him to also see if there are any observers. But however, there are no observers on the field. Now this is something that can be very beneficial for the Zerg player. There's no observers, Tunneling Claws and Burrow both on the way, so he could be using some Roach Burrow micro and be able to do a nice amount of damage. But it does look like Roach is moving across the field, a couple of Hydras as well. And we look at the army count real quick, 128 to 113 in favor of the Protoss. Protoss is actually almost maxed right now, so Zerg has to be very careful with this engagement. Looks like Corruptors are going to be moving, and these... oh, man. They just
and that's a
missed the
great
army.
place for those Corruptors.
Yeah, that's exactly where the Corruptors want to be. And actually going in there, sniping that hatchery out, the Nexus out. And it looks like the Corruptors are going to move in, try and snipe out a couple of Colossus. Is able to get one.
Got one.
And maybe a second one, but... Oh, actually,
Server must be out on the field somewhere.
I didn't see an observer. No, there's no observer. I don't know how he saw that.
Either. How did he see those roaches?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, you know what? He didn't burrow the Hydralisks, and the splash damage from the Colossus must have been hitting the roaches.
Gotcha. That's definitely it. Okay, so we do look real quick. Looks like the Protoss is moving across the map now. 100 to 104 army supply. We have nothing really in production. A bunch of roaches just came out for the Zerg player, but there are still a couple of mortals out that'll be able to deal a lot of damage to these roaches. And it does look like these roaches are going to be able to push forward and take on some of these stalkers, and he just needs to burrow them. If he can burrow them, he'll realize that there is no observer out on the field, and I guess he just assumes that from before there is an observer on the field, and it does look like this may be the end for Goldfire. He's probably going to be losing right about now. There's just a ton of units moving into space, 84 to 60 army supply, and just roaches coming out, which are going to be easily dealt with by the +2 immortals that are out on the field. The fourth phase is down, but I don't think that's going to matter. Burrowing these roaches, and now he'll realize that there is no observer on the field, but at this point he doesn't even have any roaches to deal with it, so whether or not they're burrowed or not is not going to matter.
And this is the danger, you know, a lot of people like to put that lair at the expansion for the extra health, but, you know, once that expansion goes down, your tech is virtually gone. The Hydralisk Den is gone, the lair is gone. It's just GG.
Yeah, I feel like this will probably be GG very soon. As soon as he takes out the hatchery, it will be over and done with. And looks like Infinity will be moving on to the next round.
And a good choice by Infinity. His third was taken, so he knows, okay, the Zerg is catching up economically, if not ahead. So it's time to push.
Yep, definitely.
Looks like he's really going to try and hang in there. Zerg taking an expansion at the bottom left corner of the map. Transferring drones, but unfortunately I just think he's stolen the inevitable at this point. Hiding the drones at the main. It's cute.
Yeah,
Queen goes down at the natural.
Don't know if this is going to matter, and there is a
and GG.